Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Is the third photo the actual training that you're doing in the program? Or is it like, are you giving the training or are you a participant?
No, I'm participating, but I'm participating as a coach, as in I'm a qualified coach, but it's really interesting because I've done this training before. So he's been putting me on the spot, which is quite good. He's only done it once as being the first day, and I had to be someone's coach, and that was a little bit intense. But I guess I'm in this to get an experience of what it would be like coaching in that group. So it's great. I just like to repeat the training because when you evolve a little bit, you just hear things a little bit differently.
Sure.
So yeah, what you can see there, you can see my little Qantas bag. That's funny. I was just reaching out for it as if you can see it. My little Qantas bag, which has my passport in it, which is what may be happening anytime soon. And what else is there? My earphones and my little journal. And yeah, I've basically had like a whole heap of notebooks here, kind of writing all different million notes. My little circle of light there, that kind of really is just to give me the light that I need for the Zoom meeting. That's it. So he just asked us to take a photo, a selfie in the beginning of the course. And then at the end of the course, that's what we're going to do, take another selfie.
What's the idea behind this course?
The NLP course, the Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I've done it in April, and I'm doing it again just to kind of imprint the information a little better and just to see it from a coach perspective, like how to train coaches. So my notes are very different now because I know this stuff, but it's landing a little bit differently. Also, it's nice to see how I'm also listening to people a little different. Where in the beginning it was all about me. It was about my own personal development when I did it, but now I'm listening from a different perspective.
So in the photograph, you've done a selfie. So your face is you are taking up about a third of the photo on the left. The photo is kind of looking right at you, and behind you is your computer with the diffuser light, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 12 or 13 people. So a couple of people are doing in their own little parts. Are they different parts of the world, or are they all in Australia?
They are actually different parts of the world this time. There's a bunch from US. There's different parts in Australia. So there's a couple of people from Darwin, a couple from Melbourne, a few from Sydney, and a few from Queensland. So yeah, they're different, slightly different time zones. Yeah, different accents.
If we think about it in terms of the fuel and the purpose that's deep inside because essentially it's about helping other people. You have spent a long time self-care, like a beauty products company. The image of the drawing that people would do to use as a tool to sort of do the self-discovery. And then the NLP course is very other-centered. A lot about your effort every day isn't very especially selfish. You're definitely giving to other people. So what about your personality? How much of you is about giving to other people, and how much of it is using it for yourself?
It's a really, really good question, actually, because it's something that I've been pondering on today, and I've sort of noticed myself. We're talking about 6 core needs of the human needs, and significant is one of those things that I've noticed that I pay attention to a little too much. It's like I want to be recognized, I want to be seen, I want people to like me, I want to stand out, and I want to be noticed. But on the flip side of it, what I really want to do is contribute as much as I can to the society, to the next generation, for people to really grow and evolve themselves. And so, look, you definitely get a lot out of it personally by watching someone else growing, and I think that's the key. The challenge is you can't work with someone who's not interested,
Of
which
course.
blows my mind, right? Like, why the hell wouldn't you want to grow and develop and know better? But some people just don't, or they're not aware that they just don't care. They're quite happy just floating around and let life
It's
just do
okay.
its thing.
Yeah.
But we like to jump around, and sitting still is just not an option. I do my meditations, I do my sitting still, but that's literally 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're done. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's just another thing on the schedule. But when I get myself out of it, so I don't know if it's answering your question. So it feels a little selfish for me internally because I get something out of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you don't participate, then I get disappointed. So is
Sure.
that for me? But then there's an acceptance that if you don't want to do it, that's cool. But if you do, it's amazing. And that alone is just like, the sense of giving. I guess that's what I'm working on now, is to really just give, and whether you take it or leave it, it's then up to
Mm-hmm.
you. If you enjoy it or participate, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I really want to work with people that want to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That answered your question. That was really convoluted way of.
It was exactly what it needed to be. So, there's this idea of convergence. There's this idea of, we have all these forces or movements, waves, ideas, connections going on in our subconscious that we're, not really aware of. And every once in a while, a connection happens that changes us or that we're aware of that suddenly can be quite significant. But I like the poetry of having these calls. I know it sounds weird to put it this way, but I love the poetry of having these calls where we talk about, okay, where's your head at these days? And I don't want to force it into like, well, we have to talk for an hour. That's the rule.
Yeah.
We can just, I'm happy leaving it at this and then having you on again when things are clearer, things are more, because if you are in this transition moment, you're like, why would I ask you to talk about it? You have to live through that moment.
Mm-mm.
I also feel badly because you've had a long day of Zoom. Like, screw this. Enough looking at the screen.
No, man, I'm enjoying talking to you. I'm enjoying talking about myself. Like, that's awesome. We
Yeah.
can talk forever.
Okay, I agree.
But this may be still in the process of taking shape, but I have had a vision for my 50th birthday, which is not that far now, of where it's going to be. So it's definitely happening. And I think now, every day that I get clearer on what I want out of it, I'm definitely, every day that I'm doing something, whether it's 1 hour or a 10-hour day, that's the purpose. That's what's behind it. So when I'm
Sure.
listening today and making notes, it's about how can I implement this knowledge into developing this.
Right.
And the same with what I did with Tony Robbins, which was just, it wasn't the big Tony Robbins workshops. It was just like a little intro that he did online. But that was my very first experience of Tony Robbins. I've been denying his existence. I'm like, oh, this guy is too American. He swears too much. He screams too much. He triggers me too much, right? And I'm like, yeah. But man, he is a great guy. He's a really great guy. And it's interesting about this virtual experiences because, even as a counselor, you think you want to be with someone in the same room and talk to them face to face. But, you need their body language and facial expressions and obviously listening to their voices and you can get everything you need. And in
really?
fact, it's even harder to get away with expressions because every little, movement you can see, and you can't get away. Whereas, and also what we've discovered is that people in a virtual room, they mostly sit at home, which is their comfort zone. So
sure.
They haven't traveled and experienced traffic. They haven't,
That's a good point.
Had the whole time of leaving home, getting to work or getting to the workshop, and also not sitting in a room with a bunch of people. They can just they are physically completely relaxed in their own space and all, and they know if they're going to fall apart all of a sudden, they can just switch the camera off for a minute
Right,
and
right.
blow the nose and have a massive breakdown, and then
Oh,
come back. So
that's
so it's
interesting.
interesting because a lot of people that I do know in the industry have said the same thing, which they were actually blown away because they thought, no, we need to be face to face.
Right.
This is the only way to do it. But in fact, this is even better. And
Awesome. Maya, that you just gave me the money
yes,
shot. That's
darling.
awesome. What do you mean Stalin? Stalin? Like Stalin? Russian Stalin? No, that's great. That's really interesting. That's a super cool insight. Yeah, because you're right. I guess people are in their comfort zones and they can let go. Wow. Isn't your back hurting? Doesn't it kind of suck sitting down all day, staring at a screen?
No, but I get up and I move around and I dance around and I jump around and I go for lunch and I come back and I go to the toilet. But if I have this on, I can go and I can still hear what's going on. And
got it.
We're encouraged to move around and move our energy around, so you don't. Yeah, I'm not used to sitting down, right? In my industry, I'm standing up all day. But it's really nice to be at home, and I can go to the gym and be a bit more relaxed, walk my dog, and do all that beforehand without having to rush and travel and.
Right. Well, let's have a conversation that's not being recorded.
Amazing. I'll see you in 5 years.
The Jewish mother goes on both sides. Why don't you call me? You don't call me in 5 years. Who said that? What? Somebody cut off your fingers and you can't call me? Shit.
Oh dear Lord.
You're breaking my balls now?
I can call you. I'll call you in about a week and a half. And
Sure. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm totally fucking with you, eh? I'm totally fucking with you. I can't record. None of this has been recorded.
Are you serious?
None of it. Is that funny?
Are you serious?
No.
Why not?
What? No. Why not? What? Why not? Not what? What are you talking about? It. You said, "Am I serious?" I'm not serious.
That's good. We can just talk again. We'll just do it all over again. That's
okay,
cool.
We'll just do it all over again. Yeah.
In my ice bath.
In your ice bath. That's right. Actually, you're right. Maya, you're right. That's what we should do. We should record an episode of us.
Cool in the ice bath.
No, simultaneously going into the ice bath.
Cool. That's so cute.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen, and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.